Hello, everybody. Hello, beautiful people. All right, all right, all right. Exciting, exciting. Good. Everybody's joining us. We have a lot of beautiful, familiar faces. We got some new people. We got some epic people that are so active with us. That's great. Thank you for
Mhm.
joining. I've been watching some of you on social media. I've been stalking some of you on social media, I should say. I'm loving it so much. Commenting on some of it. Some of you I don't see enough on social media. So, like, what's going on? Feel free to follow up with me and engage me a little bit more so I can find you and you can find me and we can cross-pollinate constantly. Hello, everybody from different parts of the world. We got Dawn that's taking us for a walk with her. That's great. I'm happy that today no one is driving their car. That's really wonderful. If you are in front of your computer and you're not necessarily driving, please turn on your video. And yeah, let's tell Simona where you're from so she could see where everybody is from. I'm excited that we have another wonderful mentor here with us today. And it's going to be such an exciting session. So let's tell her how everybody is feeling today and where are you from? How are you feeling? Where are you from? And maybe share what's your number one superpower outside of fascia maneuvers, of course. Number one superpower. How are you feeling? Where are you from? Number one superpower. Put in the chat. Let's give Simona a little bit of love from your side so she sees all this beautiful information. All right. Beautiful.
This.
All right. Beautiful. Look at that. We got such beautiful people here with us today. Yes. Okay. I'm loving this.
Wow. From all over the world. I
Feeling
love this.
electric. Yes. Who is that feeling electric? Energy? Georgina, energy is your superpower. Yes, it is. I could tell you, you give epic hugs. I remember. Yes, I like that. Connection and guidance. Okay, I need more of that in my life.
Uh,
Endless patience. Wow, Stephanie, you
oh.
probably have a few kids like me. I only learned patience when becoming a father. I was not patient before that at all.
Hmm.
Uh, I can run 11-second 100 meters. That's pretty fast, Miguel. That's impressive. Can you prove it to us? Send us a video into the chat later on. And we want to see that 100 meters in 11 seconds. That's pretty epic. I love that. Wow. Wonderful. So I'm excited. I want to get things started. We're not going to close up the room like we usually do in our masterminds. This is going to be an open room. So if someone shows up a little bit late, I'll forgive them. Simona is also a very beautiful and forgiving person that I've had the absolute pleasure to spend a lot of quality time with when we were in Mexico together at the last Human Garage retreat. And, being new in the company, I was like seeing who am I connecting with, who in the team am I building that initial bond with? Like, I want to do more with them. And Simona was definitely one of the highlights there and like really bonded. I think it's just the energy, the background, the business and spiritual connection, this interest to serve, this interest to innovate, the ability to add value, the ability to be wise. I like wise people. I like smart people that I could just be like this, just listen to them. How many people love smart people? Because I used to be the one that's like the smartest person in the room. And like, I'm so happy that these days I'm finding myself constantly not the smartest person in the room. So having someone like Simona around, I could really sit back and just listen up and just learn a lot of what's going on. And today I'm really excited that she's going to be coming in and share with us a lot about what's going on when it comes to branding. But like she stepped into Human Garage and I noticed that she had a few different hats. And I saw that she was like helping with podcasts and stepping into marketing. And I very quickly I realized this is a woman who doesn't come into a box and like just does this one thing. But because of her background, I don't know how many of you checked out her LinkedIn. Please check out her LinkedIn. I hope that you're active on LinkedIn now, ladies and gentlemen, after what Mac taught us. And based on how you feel after today, I would really love to see you giving testimonials to Simone after today, because I know she's going to blow your mind. So I'm excited about what she's prepared for us. I know the team has shared a document that she's also prepared. Maybe some of you have already seen it. You've opened it. If you do have it open, or maybe you've even had it printed, have it in front of you a little bit and maybe use it as a guidance to like, hey, maybe I should come back to this document and fill some things up. And it's going to be an exciting. I'm going to be here making notes as well because I'm a really good student and I want to learn everything she's got to offer. So Simona, take it take it over, please. The microphone is yours. I'm really excited. Maybe you can also share with people a little bit about your background because it's quite diverse and it's really, really impressive. And I checked out your LinkedIn, but tell us a little bit about your background as well. And,
Yeah.
share with people some of the exciting things you're also doing at Human Garage.
Okay. Well, thank you for having me. Thank you for that beautiful introduction. It's so nice to be here. I recognize so many of your faces from the retreats. This is so special to be reconnected with you all here.
Uh,
So,
hold on.
Mm.
With Business Accelerator, we have the practice to sync up. Everybody would
Oh
want
my
to do
God, yes. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. They keep on reminding me, and I love that. Thank you. And I see that even Joanne is like, sync up. All right, Joanne, sync us up.
Hi, everybody. Let's sync up together. So wrap your right foot or your ankle around your left, right arm under left armpit, left arm, hug yourself, turn your head to the left, your body to the right, in and out through your mouth 3 times, deep and full together. Breathe in, connect with someone in. One more. In through the nose, out through the mouth. In, 2, and 3. Ah. Woo. Thank you so much, everybody.
thank you, Joanne. That felt so good. Okay. So, I'll start with my background. Oh, I was enjoying seeing you all. I was seeing gallery group. There we go. Okay. So you can all see me as the speaker, but
Yeah.
I'm seeing you in gallery because I want to see all your beautiful faces. Okay, so a little background on me. I studied marketing in undergrad, marketing and international studies, studied abroad in China and in Spain. I was obsessed with cultures and travel and diversity and how people are so similar in all these corners of the world. I couldn't get enough. It was my first love, international travel. So yes, I studied abroad twice in college, and then with my degree, I joined corporate America. I worked at Warner Brothers, at Turner Broadcasting, and then I worked at the Walt Disney Company in marketing as well. And I just, I didn't feel like I was on my mission. I didn't feel that feeling of this is it. I can really, grow here. I can climb that ladder that most people would have been so desiring to climb. I didn't want to climb it. It didn't make me feel alive. Who by show of hands knows that feeling? Where maybe you're in a situation where most people, you're all waving, most people would die to be there, but for you, someone who is wanting to live a life that's more aligned with their heart, with their mission, maybe you want to like give something back to the world. It's just not that. So I left because of that feeling and also because of my health. My health started to decline. Um, I one of my jobs was working for USA Today. I was working in international marketing and I was traveling the world. And that was feeling so exciting for me because I was able to explore cultures, but I wasn't able to feel like I was giving something back to the world. And so that's when I came home, joined the Warner Brothers and Disney, and I was from traveling the world, then living in a cubicle under these LED lights, my body shut down. And I went on a journey to heal myself. I quit my job. I went to India to study yoga, one-way ticket, no plan of what I was going to do, but just following that feeling of sitting under these LED lights is not something that is good for my body. So I went on a healing journey. And on that healing journey, I discovered some things that changed not only my health, but I just had to give it back. I was like, these are some universal laws, some principles that most people are not living by. Things like feeling your feelings, so simple, but yet we have gotten so far from that. Things like eating a healthy diet, eating organic, moving your body, aligning your posture, breathing deeply. All of these things that I learned in yoga teacher training and in a couple years of studies. And I was like, I need to give this back to the world. So I put my marketing career to the side and I became a coach because I just had to give back what I had received. Who else by a show of hands? It's like when you get something that you're like, this is gold, I have to give it back, have to share it. Yeah, it's natural. So I created my or I created my coaching business using my marketing degree because marketing is at the core of any business. But I really gave it my all in teaching people how to heal themselves, teaching people how to live a life that's aligned with their purpose and that's living in alignment with the principles of wellness. And that I did for the last 10 years. And it was so rewarding and so meaningful to me. And at the same time, running my own business, doing the marketing, doing the sales, doing the advertising, doing the coaching, doing all of it myself, it was a lot. Who gets that? Doing it all yourself, it can be a lot. Yeah. So after 10 years, I made the decision to transition into working with a team again, into predictability. And that's when I decided to transition out of the coaching business and go back to my background of marketing that I never really left because, like I said, marketing was at the foundation of the coaching business. And in fact, while I ran my coaching business, I learned even more about marketing because running your own business, your own personal brand, your coaching business, that marketing background is essential. So let's see, that's a little summary of my background. So now I'm the marketing manager of Human Garage, and like Gil said, I transitioned all over the place. Started with social media. That's where I met a lot of you guys in the retreats. Then transitioned into podcast production, and then into marketing management, which is my background. So I'm very happy to be here. I'm able to work on things like the coaching program and all our events, and I have my hands in a lot of different Human Garage buckets, which I love. And now we can get into marketing. So, what I'm going to share with you today, it's not something I read in a book. It's not something I took a course on. I did take a lot of courses and I did read a lot of books, but what I'm going to share, I actually didn't find there. Because what I found in a lot of these programs and books was a simple copy paste strategy, and that never resonated with me. What I'm going to share with you is a way to market yourself and your business based on your lifestyle, based on your gifts, based on what you already do. Why? Because we're busy, right? We're living busy lives. A lot of you have children, a lot of you have partners, a lot of you have other businesses, or you have your own health that you're navigating. And so I found that learning how to market yourself based on what you're already doing in your lifestyle, using your lifestyle as the strategy, is something that is essential to busy entrepreneurs. So, what I'm going to share with you is really rooted in that. And as I said, it's not something that I found in a book. It's something that I, after 10 years of running my own business, finally discovered in how to make it easier for me because doing these copy paste strategies never worked for me. Show of hands. How many of you have been trying to do marketing strategies that you've read in a book or online or yeah, and it's just not quite clicking? Okay, well, I'm hoping that something I share with you today will click. So, essentially, what I'm saying here is your lifestyle already has the content. Your lifestyle, what you're doing in the morning to take care of yourself, what you're doing before work to take care of yourself, the fascia maneuvers that you're doing, why you're doing it. Maybe you have an evening practice. Maybe you make a matcha in the morning. Maybe you add a little bit of superfood blend to your dressing. These things that you're doing that you think are just normal, they're not. They're superpowers, which is why I love that, Gil, you asked what your superpower is. So these little lifestyle acts of self-care that, again, I have to emphasize this because so many of us think that, oh yeah, I know everybody knows to take deep breaths while they're working or to take a walk every 30 minutes instead of sitting on the computer hunched over. I know everybody knows how to adjust their posture. No, no, they don't. And they need to see role models. They need to see real life examples of what it looks like to be taking care of yourself, to be a busy person, a real person, a relatable person that does little things throughout the day to take care of yourself. So that's the first thing that I want to talk about is your lifestyle is your content. So this is in the workbook. Also, take a scan of your lifestyle. What are you doing from the moment you wake up to before you start your workday, the fashion maneuvers that you're doing, the morning drinks that you're drinking, the meals that you're preparing for yourself or your loved ones, the walks that you're taking, maybe the wellness tech that you're using, maybe it's the electrolytes you're putting in your water. All of these things that we in a wellness community, everyone here is pretty devoted to our wellness. So we have little things, little superpowers that we're all doing that we might think is normal, but somebody else at the end of that social media screen needs to see. They need to be inspired by that. So that is the first main thing I want to emphasize is what we can call lifestyle B-roll. B-roll means background content. It means you just put the camera on and you go about your life. You put the camera on, you press play, you make sure, you press record, you make sure it has you in focus, and you do whatever the thing is that you do to take care of yourself in that period. Whether if it's the fascia maneuvers, whether if it's adding all those minerals and electrolytes to your water, whether if it's you taking a break between work to move your body, to take some breaths, to do some quick stretches, whether if it's preparing your meal. You don't have to be talking to the camera. A lot of people are intimidated by social media because they think they have to talk to the camera. You don't always have to. You can do what we call B-roll, which is background content, which is just you capturing what you're already doing. And then eventually you can turn it into a content. And I'm going to share about that. But for now, we're just talking about how to capture what you're already doing and turn it into content. Add that to the daily ritual. I love that. Yes, that's perfect.
I'm
Watching
just
the rice field
suggesting
while
maybe
having a tea.
everybody could put one daily ritual they love right now into the chat, something that you think is unique, something that would be potentially Instagrammable, but maybe you haven't thought about it.
Yes,
Just put something
perfect.
into the chat outside of fascia maneuvers as well.
Yes. Big point outside of fascia maneuvers because people are going to come to you for your holistic living, not just fascia maneuvers. They're going to become because you have other aspects of yourself that they gravitate toward. Morning celery juice, absolutely. Meditation after fascia maneuvers, yep. Preparing your bottle of water, food prep. Oh, magnet bath. There we go. See, you're all doing it. There's an ask to share the link to the workbook again, by the way.
I
Ozone
think that
baths.
preparing an ozone bath could look that could be like sexy content, by the way, the before and after.
You can make it not sexy, which I would recommend. Let's keep it
Why?
PG.
Hello?
Yeah.
No, it's okay to have it sexy.
Okay,
Allow people's imagination to go somewhere. It's okay.
if that's your brand, we want to be brand consistent. So if
Yeah.
your brand is to appeal to those that want to awaken their sexuality, their sensuality, then yeah. But if it's not, then let's stay in your niche. Watering the plants, absolutely. So these are cacao ceremony. So these are things that you're already doing, right? You're already doing it. I'm not telling you to add some marketing strategy on top of what you're already doing. Perfect. So let's see. Yeah, this is how you document your life versus perform it. This is how you share what you're already doing versus put on a mask of, oh, I need to do this thing so that I'm marketing my business. No, no mask, no performing, just be real. As the world of AI gets more and more and more saturated, people are craving real more and more and more. So just be real. Just like you wrote in here, you already picked one thing. I would recommend pick about three things that you're already doing in your day. Be you, exactly. Pick about three things that you're already doing in your day that are authentic to you, that are aligned to what you're already doing to take care of yourself. And then come up with the why. Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? What does it give you back? What happens if you don't do it? And then what does it give you? What does it shift in you when you do it? That's also part of the authenticity is when I don't have my celery juice, my gut can be clogged. But I want to be regular. I want to feel like I can go about my day feeling light. So I always drink my celery juice. Yeah, it takes a lot of time sometimes, being honest, right? Sometimes I don't want to do it, but I want to feel good. So I do it, right? This is letting people into the fact that you're a human. Sometimes you don't want to do these things to take care of yourself, but you do it. Perfect. So, what are the things that you're doing and why are you doing them? And this is the other element of this. So we have the background story, the background video, and then we have the writing, the copy. And that's where the why you're doing it comes into play. What are you doing? Why are you doing it? What happens if you don't do it? Do you ever rebel against your own practices? I don't know about you, but I'm a huge rebellious I'm a rebel against even my own practices. I'm like, I don't want to do fascia maneuvers. I don't want to take that walk. So I talk about that in my content. I say, like, I'm a rebel even to my own accountability. And people love relatability. So people love the like, I took a walk today and I didn't want to, but I did it anyway, right? So you can share that. Just be real. I rebelled today for the first time. Yeah, that's so relatable. We are our own worst enemy. Even when we have the list of rituals that we know keep us accountable, we often can resist. It's a natural part of the human condition. So talk about it. That makes you relatable. People want to work with someone that they feel connected to. People don't buy a product or a service, they buy a person. They buy a person first. They want to trust you. They want to spend time with you. They want to see that you're real, and at the same time they want to see that you're accountable. So mixing the energy of vulnerability of like I took a walk today and I didn't want to. That you talk about your relatability of how you resist your own practices, but you did it anyway. This is what people want to see. This is where trust begins. That is the product. That is the service. The fashion maneuvers is the bonus. You are the product, you are the service. That's why marketing yourself online, especially social media, is so valuable. And in fact, some would say essential, is because it is the way that we gain that trust and credibility with our audience. So we talked about the videos and we touched a little bit about the writing copy. So content batching is something that I'm going to talk about now because we're all busy, we're living busy lives. We don't have time to sit down and always write some copy about why we loved doing our fashion maneuvers today or why we took that bath. But maybe once a week or once every other week, you could sit down and you could content batch about your lifestyle practices, the things that you're doing, why you're doing them, why they feel good for you, um, how you got started in doing them, how they've shifted your life now that you do them over time. Content batch. So, like I said, pick the 3 lifestyle habits and spend a Sunday writing about them. Do a ritual and write about why you do those things that you do and how they've changed your life. Then you can take from those content buckets and you can copy paste onto your videos or onto your captions. So you don't have to think in the moment, what am I going to say? You've already pre-prepared your copy. And don't be afraid to say the same thing twice. Maybe change a few words, but that creates predictability. It creates brand resonance. It creates the niche that you are by saying a similar thing over and over. So having taglines, the way you say the same things over and over, that's fine. Not only is it fine, but it is part of marketing. Your marketing wants to be so predictable to you that somebody could take your face off of the copy or off of the picture and they would still know it's you because it has your colors, it has your language, it has your words, it has your taglines. They know your routines by now. Okay? So not only do I invite you to content batch about your different lifestyle habits, but also what we're going to call core content pillars. So core content values. So let's just say fascia maneuvers is one of the main things that you are an advocate of and that you teach, which is obvious because you're all here. So within fascia maneuvers, there's the core values. So why are you doing fascia maneuvers? You're doing them because, for example, and don't take this on, find your own way, but I'm just going to share as inspiration. So releasing tension, living tension free. That could be something you content batch of why you're doing fascia maneuvers and why living tension free and releasing your tension as a practice is so important. What's the science behind it? How does it make you feel? Is it possible to live tension free? Is that even the goal? Or is the goal just to release a little bit of tension and stress every day? What are the implications of living a life with tension built up? These are all the different things you can talk about just within that one content bucket of living tension free. That's another thing. You can copy paste on top of your fashion maneuvers, on top of your stretching about why you're doing that. You don't have to think about it in the moment. You can just pull from your content bucket. So not only am I going to ask you to create or invite you to create 3 content buckets related to your lifestyle, but also create 3 content buckets related to your core values. How about you write some of your core values in the chat that you can talk about without having to think about it? That's the goal of these value buckets is what could someone put you on stage for tomorrow and you could just share and share and share and share. Yeah, maybe you need an outline and some structure, but you could just share without thinking. You can share about it. You can share about it without needing to really prepare much in advance because you live by it. You know these principles. Integrity, adventure, and creativity. Absolutely. Slowing down. Yes. Peace, alignment. Absolutely. So take these core content buckets and prepare in advance your copy, your why, your when, your how. Living in alignment. Perfect. Self-healing. Absolutely. These are all perfect. And again, this is why people are going to come to you. They're going to come because they need to slow down. They're going to come because they want to live in alignment. They don't even really know what alignment is. Educate them. Educate them. So your content wants to be a balance of education as well as inspiration. A lot of people don't know what they don't know. They don't even know they need to slow down. They don't even know they're out of alignment. So educate them. What does it look like when you're not slowing down, when you're moving too fast? Does it look like dropping things? You're moving so fast that you drop the water on the floor. You're moving so fast that you spill the spices. It doesn't even make it into the bowl, right? Paint the picture of what it looks like for these people because they don't know that they're stuck in patterns that you know that they're stuck in. So, what does it look like for someone that's living out of alignment? They wake up in the morning and they don't want to go to work. They they have the Sunday scaries. They dread their morning meetings. Paint the picture because they don't know that they're stuck in these patterns. Good. So we've talked about how you're going to get the video content or the image content. By the way, you can take screenshots of your videos if you want them, if you want images. That's where a better iPhone can help, but it's not essential. So we've talked about how you get your images and your videos. We've talked about how you get your copy. Now let's talk about what I call how to get in state to create. So when you're going to prepare your weekly content, do you want to just go into it from from the state of let's just say you prepared your kids' meals or you just finished a bunch of work and now you're just going to jump into your creating content? You can, or you can do what I call get in state to create, which is doing something to get in that embodied, empowered state where you know you are the leader that you are, where you know you have wisdom to impart, where you are aligned, you are embodied, you are empowered, you're here to be of service to the world. So how do we do that? How do we get in that state? We can do so many different things. Already you can use that list of what you're doing in your routine. You can take a walk, you can do breath work, you can do fascia maneuvers, you can take that bath, you can take a cold shower. Yeah, evoke that boss energy. Exactly. So it's not always about what you're doing, it's how you're doing it. So do breath work with the intention of evoking that empowered boss. Do that walk with the intention of connecting to your why, of connecting to that genius boss in you that the world needs. So it's about doing it for the intention of connecting to your highest self so that you can write that content in that state. This also puts you in the energy of someone people want to work with because it elevates you. it takes you out of the mundane energy that everybody's living in, that most people are creating content in, right? And it puts you into a different energy that people then gravitate towards. So get embodied before you write your content, even if you're using AI. Who's using AI here to write content? Okay, about half of you. Okay, so you don't have to. It is a tool that you can use to write your content. I could do a whole nother class on how to use AI to do that because it is a whole nother strategy. So I'm just gonna, since there's only about half of you that are using it, let's just stick to no AI for now. Um, I will just say that if you're gonna use it, train it on your brand voice. Train it to talk like you. And all you have to do this, I mean, there's a lot of ways to do it, but an easy way is ask it to ask you questions so that it can get to know your voice. And give it one piece of copy and have it keep revising that one piece of copy as you keep revising your voice until you like it. Does that make sense? Give me a show of hands. Good, good. So then once you have that brand voice that you've trained it on, remind it to use it every time in your copy. Okay, good. It has to learn you. Exactly. Perfect. Okay. So let's talk about how to create a post now. Now we have the video and or the image. We have the copy. We want to add a call to action. Why? Because people need to know that you're open for business. While you might think it's obvious, it's not to them. They need to know that you're available. They need to know that you have a spot for them. They need to be invited. They need to feel like there's an opening, which is where the sales component comes in. I don't know about you, but I used to feel a lot of discomfort around selling. I thought I was being salesy, pushy, slimy. Who, by a show of hands, has that feeling? Yeah, we've been conditioned to think it's uncomfortable. Why? Because most of the sales being done out there is a little bit uncomfortable and manipulative and slimy. But there's a way to do it that's not. So the way to do it that's not, and I shared a couple examples in the workbook, is just to invite them. Invite them to talk more. Let them know that you have a package for them, an offering for them. If you want to talk, let's reach out. Let's have a chat. Um, versus manipulating them into thinking they need to work with you. So I'm going to talk about the manipulation in a minute. I know I was only supposed to talk for 30 minutes, but I'm going to just be as fast as I can. So, invitation to sell every day. So, every time that you're posting to your social media, add a little call to action at the end. It's not slimy, it's inviting them. It's being of service. So, shifting the mentality from I'm selling to I'm serving is a huge reframe because somebody out there needs you. They don't need Joe Schmo. They need you. Why? Because you've been through what they are still going through. And if you don't let them know that you're available for them, they might think, "Oh wow, this woman, this man really inspires me, but I don't know if I can work with them. I don't want to bother them. I'm not going to ask. Who am I to ask this person?" Right? People make up stories just like we do. So letting them know that you're available on repeat. It might feel a little uncomfortable at first, but the rule of thumb is you can sell every day. And I wouldn't start with the sale. So you would start with the lifestyle practice that you're doing, why you're doing it, how it's helping you. Maybe if we're just talking about Instagram stories for a second, maybe that's 3 slides of your Instagram stories. And maybe it's the fourth slide or the fifth slide that invites them to work with you and gives a link to your calendar to book a call. In the post on your wall, it's at the very end, the call to action. If this resonated with you, I have one more spot for my fascia maneuvers / nutrition training, right? So and I like the 80-20 principle. 80% is you're giving value, 20% is you're selling. Okay? Would I post in the main story or both? Both. Absolutely both. Because the story only lasts for 24 hours, but the wall lasts forever. So you can even post the same thing on both stories and wall. And then save your stories to a highlight reel as well. So then that does last forever. Okay, so I'm just going to talk for a second about marketing, what I call manipulative marketing. So a lot of the marketing on social media right now is what I call manipulative. What does that mean? Well, they're either doing one of two things. One is they're talking about your problems on repeat. Everybody has problems, right? This person has studied their clients so much that they know their clients' problems and they talk about it in their marketing on repeat. That is pain point marketing. That is, thankfully, I would say dying in the mainstream marketing channels, although it's still very prevalent. You'll see it. Why is it manipulative? Because everybody has issues that they're still navigating. To constantly be talking about them puts the client into those issues. Oh yeah. Oh, I do have anxiety. Oh, I do overthink. Oh, I do sometimes miss my morning practices. I'm broken. I need you. Help me, fix me, save me. No. No, there's no more savior dynamic. Nobody can save you. Your problems that you're still navigating make you human. They're not wrong. We don't want to be picking at them. We don't want to be having that be a dominant part of our marketing. It is not kind. This this is, again, we can use an 80/20 rule here. So we want it to be 80% benefits. 80% talking about what benefits you get, what transformation you get from working with you, and 20% problem. We do want to be about 20% problem awareness because, like I said, people don't know their problems. They don't know they're out of alignment. They don't know they need to slow down. So educating on your target client's problems is part of it, but it's not a dominant part. The other manipulative marketing strategy that I see is the opposite side of the spectrum. It's I have the life of your dreams. I have it. Pay me. Ugh, no, no. I also think that's manipulative. And that is a big part of the coaching industry that I was a part of. And that's why I had to stop, honestly. I couldn't do either one, that pain point or the I have the life of your dreams. It wasn't for me. So what I would say around what not to do instead of doing the life of your dreams is be relatable. Share the times you rebel against your own practices, but you do it anyway. So you still want to be inspiring, but you also want to be authentic that you're still a human. A lot of the marketing out there with these I have the life of your dreams marketing is painting a picture of a highlight reel of the best moments, of the best marriage, of the best body, of the best career, of the $1 million salary. They're just sharing a snapshot of all these best things. They're only sharing that. That's perfectionist marketing. That's also manipulative. So we want to be real about where we're still human. Okay. Um, how do you increase the views on stories? Consistency. Consistency and having your first slide be relatable and inviting and have some kind of reason they want to keep scrolling. So I'm going to also move into understanding your audience. So you really want to know who you want to work with. You really want to know who that target client avatar, as we call it, is. And she or he is usually you in the past. Not always, but I would say a large majority of the time, that person is you before you made a change in your life. So if you already know all about that avatar, you know their strengths, their weaknesses, their struggles, their desires, their motivations, then use that in your content. If you don't, then you can do what we call market research. That means invite a couple people that are your target client into a conversation with you and ask them the questions. What are your greatest struggles? What's that like for you to struggle with that? What are your desires? What are your goals? What would you do if your life changed in this area? And write it all down. And write it down in their exact words because you want to use their exact words in your marketing so that your target client knows that you understand them. Okay. So I'm going to leave it there and open it up for questions. Thank you for
Thank you,
listening.
Simona. It's a lot of golden nuggets that have just been shared. What I love is how practical you're making it. There's a lot of content out there in the world, and it's very, very noisy, but you kept it very, very focused, very practical. And what I love here, and please understand, fellow coaches here, that it's the first time that we decided that, hey, one of the mentors, maybe two, should actually be people from within the company because they actually know what you need better than outside people so much. So Simona has been giving you very, very relevant content here. So I want you to kind of consider that I want to ask some questions right now. We got time for that. So let's raise some hands. We're gonna get short questions, give context if you need to. Simona, we can give somewhat short answers. I want to go through as many questions and answers as possible. And Simona, right before the call, said that she is open to have some back and forth calls with some of you if needed. And she's quite active right now, so there's a lot going on. But what I am going to suggest, if any of you are going to follow up with Simona and she is going to have a call with you, let's agree that the content that is shared on the call, maybe if you're comfortable, could also be shared back with the community. Yeah, like for example, earlier today, I had a one-on-one call with Sam, who's on the call with us today, and we managed to go through some really practical, information that he was asking me that I know would be useful for everyone else. So let's just consider that if you are going to follow up with Simona, let's just think about, hey, how could this be valuable for everyone? So Simona, you could choose. You like people are raising their hands. Everybody kind of raise your hands. Let's get some questions out there. And Simona, you pick them and let's have fun.
Okay. Okay, let's start with Joanne.
Thank you so much, Simone. I'll get right to my question, but first, my journey from Army officer to healing myself through yoga and meditation was so similar. And I think it's interesting. I like talking about leadership, leading your life, creating your life, your family, your business. And I call it aligned leadership. So,
Yes.
and you can't lead without energy. So I loved how you preferenced it. How do you start? How do you create the environment within you that knows what you want to give? I'm really clear on that. I've been posting on LinkedIn every day. The marketing I really struggle with. So in my whole career, I never market. I guess, my personality and what I did was, but if I had a job, I just did it. So the other aspect, I love how you highlighted because I feel very uncomfortable with the way things are marketed over social media. And I would add another one. People want to give you free content, but it's really a sales pitch. And I'm
Yes.
like, just put the price up front. Tell me what you're doing, what your offering is. Give me a price. Don't want to talk to me for an hour before I get a price. Like I just have an issue with that. So my question is, I don't know how to market on any of these platforms. I'm clear that I want to work with primarily what's coming to me is a lot of women in leadership roles in emerging businesses, having families, because that was me. And I know their struggles and I you know, and I love what you said about your lifestyle is your message. So I'm out racing sailboats. I started a not-for-profit to empower women. I'm an honorary colonel, but it never occurs to me to take out a video camera. So those two elements, I really getting content in the moment, and then how do I articulate an offering of coaching leaders, but also speaking to big groups because I love the energy in that. And I feel, I can bring a group from here to here. And I love doing that. Yeah.
Okay, well, two things I can say. First of all, get a tripod. Get a mini tripod
I
on
have
Amazon.
one.
Okay,
I
great.
have one.
Put it in your purse. So it's always there. Then you have no excuse why you can't just put on a video while you're on that boat. Just have it in your pocket. Amazon has like little mini ones. Second thing,
You clearly never race sailboats.
oh, I understand. Maybe ask someone to take a little video of you. Get comfortable asking people to capture you.
To help for help. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so the thing I want to share is marketing is a gap bridger. So you're bridging a gap for your target client of where they are and where they want to be.
Okay.
That's what you talk about in your marketing. I'm glad you asked this because I didn't share that. So where are you? Where are they? They're stuck in a job, they're just in mom mode, but they're not giving back to themselves, wherever it is. And where do they want to be? They want to be in their body. They want to be out of their heads. They want to be enjoying their lives more. And how do you bridge that gap? It's through fashion maneuvers, it's through yoga, it's through nutrition. So you talk about all three things in your marketing. Not every post has to have this, but I would say maybe one a week, two a week, or all of them can weave that in if you start to get really crafty and strategic with your marketing. They're always talking about how you bridge that gap for your target client. If you're not talking about that in your marketing, you're just writing. You're just a writer, which is there's no problem with being a writer, but if you want to market your services, you do have to show that you know your clients so well, you know where they are now, you know where they want to be, and you're the person to bridge that gap.
Okay. So on LinkedIn, I'm a writer and I write every day and I love that. But that's exactly the gap. How do I say, as a young officer, I needed a mentor. Like they always say in the Army, leaders have no friends because, but you need a mentor, someone to help, have your back. So I like that gap and I'll have to think about
Yeah.
how to script what that offering
Write
is.
about it. Spend some time journaling about where are they, where do they want to be, and what do you do to bridge that gap? And
Gotcha.
then you can make copy out of that conversation.
Okay. Thank you.
You're
Thank you so much.
welcome. Thanks for sharing. Let's
Can I
bring
bump
on.
in there really quick and give her an appreciation? I'm new to the coaching and all of the calls that I've watched, she is such an inspiration. So, is it Joanna? Was that her first name? Um, I would say, here's your accolade. You're already doing the things. And I think that we often don't see ourselves as accomplishing what we feel like maybe we have imposter syndrome with. But I see you and you're doing it. So keep going.
Yeah.
See, thank you so much. I just came from teaching a class and I'm moving and my life's a mess at the moment, but I get so much back when I give that. Thank you so much for seeing me and acknowledging that. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you. That was a beautiful reflection. Okay, let's bring on Paul.
Oh yeah, I guess I'm in this place of knowing what to push or spend money on. So say I do a post and I'm happy with it, and then it's like, do I promote this post? Do I put some money behind this post? When do what's the point when you go, oh, this is valuable, this really is me, it's core, it's on point. Do I put money behind this? Yeah, so that's the question.
Good question. I would say put money behind it only when you have an offering available. If you don't have somewhere for them to pay you and get your services, if currently your page is only content and there's nowhere for them to work with you, do not put money onto content yet.
No, okay.
Right now, your content is just to get exposure, build your brand. Do you have an offering available online?
Yes, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
you do.
yeah.
Okay, so that's the first step. When to know when to like put advertising spend into a post
Mm,
is what you're saying.
mm,
Um, I would like to take a look at your page first because the some people will go straight to that one post and buy directly. Other people will then go to your page and see all your other content to kind of
yeah,
verify you, to
yeah,
make sure you're not just a one post person.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Okay, cool.
Let me think if there's anything else I would share there. Make sure your feed, your general feed, and what's the app you're using that you're talking about advertising on?
I'm actually, well, I've just created my whole website thing with there is kind of three offers on it, and then there's booking to get a clarity call, and then there's straight to one, or then there's yeah, I think
Okay.
booking for doing
And
resets.
what social media are you using?
Instagram, LinkedIn, yeah, and
Oh,
YouTube. I'm trying to focus a lot on YouTube for content.
okay. So try to get at least one to a place where you feel confident in it. You
Okay.
have
Yeah.
where you feel like somebody goes to your page and in 3 minutes they're able to really get an understanding for you and what you offer. when you feel like you're there, where somebody can go straight to your Instagram page and just from your top 12 posts, or maybe your top three pinned and your highlight reels, and then your 12 that they can see, they can get an understanding of you and they can feel value without having to click on every post. Then I would say that's a good time you can start advertising.
Okay, fantastic.
Good question. Okay, let's go with Carolyn.
I've got a multi-mouse. It's later. Okay. Thank you for calling on me. I've got multiple questions. I wanted from the line of work that you've done, because I've come from corporate, 40 years, 11 countries, blah, blah, blah. I can do that in my sleep, but that's not where my heart is. Recently, I've gone through major dental surgery, and anyway, it's opened up. Even the dentist, it's a biological dentist, for me to come back in 6 months, and I'm recording it and noting it, and so all of a sudden I'm head trauma when I was 18. I've had double hip replacement. I've been on crutches. So it's funny, my life keeps bringing me back to being in those same challenging moments, but I'm coming through lived experiences. Breath coach, but I learned breath because I had a kid with asthma, right? So in that sense, I'm not reading from the script. I'm not reading from the book. I'm speaking from my heart when I'm in that space. So I'm playing with the wording around. LinkedIn, I've got the contacts. I've got kind of a general reel that's the sizzle for the corporate space. And I'm playing with this around the human performance architect, because I meet you where you are, and then we build the path in which we may do the fascia maneuver, we may do the breath, we may do the biomagnetism, or if they're ready to get really woo-woo, we're going to go in for the energy work, right? So, and I guess it's because from a LinkedIn side, from an Instagram, like, and supporting what you're saying, yeah, I got really vulnerable and was showing, I was in farting pain, but I was in the equipment. And all of a sudden, it turns out the dentist is being interviewed for a documentary that will be on Prime, because they're doing biological dentistry. So all of a sudden, it's like, whoa, I'm connecting with people that I met at a Dr. Joe, but I used to live in the Czech Republic. So, people are like, why did you go somewhere in the UK? I'm like, because I had really bad luck there. And I didn't want to go there. I went where I felt safe. And so I'm kind of playing along with that. Anyway, coming back to that phrasing, how does that land for you? Because then I can be both individual and then I can be corporate, but I'm going to come into a place, yes, in the corporate space, we need to talk stress and everything else. I've got a big corporate client in June, so I will be able to take some additional new footage, and then I'm trying to build up the plan. But in the corporate space, if you put me on LinkedIn, how does that human performance architect, does that too many words, or does it resonate, or do you think it needs to be simplified? I don't know, I'm just curious from your expertise.
Okay. So I'm gonna answer this in a way that it will resonate with other people's questions on how to know if words are right for your audience. Ask your audience. Ask them. This is something you can ask in these the market research calls.
Yes.
How does this languaging feel for you? What comes up for you when I say that?
Yeah.
Ask them directly. Especially if you have friends that are your target client. Perfect. Ask away. There's nothing you have to hold back there, right? And ask multiple people, like at least 3. If you can get 10 calls in, wow. Because my opinion is not really the one that matters. I will say human performance, that's something that's very searched. So ideally you want your the brand names that you're going with or the key topics that you talk about to be searched.
Yeah.
So people are searching human performance. I don't know if they're searching human performance architect though. That's the one question mark I have is architect. Because we all know architect with building houses. Using architect to talk about humans is a little unknown at this point. So I can say in terms of SEO, no one's searching that.
No,
So
appreciate that. Yeah.
because of that, I would consider a different third word, but I really like human performance. And again, I'm not your target client, so I would ask them. And I would present to them a couple options for that third word.
Gotcha.
and let them choose. Like, how does this feel in your body? What is it? What comes to your mind when I say human performance architect or human performance mentor,
Yeah.
guide? What do you visualize in a person when I say those?
Okay. Beautiful. Great. Thank you. Excellent.
Yeah, good question.
Thank you. Thank you for the information, the insight. So really appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, well, thank you. Good questions. Appreciate your appreciation. Okay, let's go with Sam.
Okay, so I just wanted to kind of double click on what you talked about with the B-roll. So obviously B-roll is kind of you just like filming yourself in the background, doing the things that you naturally do to make it authentic. So I kind of wanted to, when you're talking about batching,
Yeah.
is it more like I can film me doing the thing, but how much of when you're actually posting the content needs to be you talking? How much of it needs to be carousels of like the same image? Like in your opinion, when you're using some of this lifestyle stuff, what is the best way to actually put it that's not only going to take up less time of yours, but is also going to resonate with them? And then my second question was about urgency, because a lot of people use this in marketing where it's like, last chance, or like they're trying to, in emails, they're trying to like get you to buy now because, and sometimes it feels a little bit like, but it works.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's as it's a fine line. So marketing strategies work, but do they feel good for you is the question. So yeah, find if there's a strategy that's piquing your interest, like urgency, clearly there's something for you that you like. So maybe find a way to do it that doesn't feel icky for you.
Okay.
Or if it's coming up because you really don't like it, don't use it. Don't use it just because people are using it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that segues into your first question, which is like, what's the best strategy? Is it reels? Is it carousels? How do you take the B-roll and chop it up? Find a way that works for you so that you'll do it and so that you'll be consistent. Instead of me giving you a copy paste strategy, because those change all the time. The algorithms change all the time. And if you try to follow some algorithm or some other person's strategy, the likeliness of you being consistent, which is the key, is low. But if you find a way that works for you so that then you're consistent, then that's the gold. Because consistency is what boosts the algorithm. It's what gets the audience to trust you, not having a strategy that works. So if
Mhm.
carousels works for you, you can become a carousel marketer. If it's reels that works for you, become a reel marketer. It really doesn't have to be a specific way. If you're really wanting me to give you like a strategy of what people are recommending, it is to have some variety of reels, carousels, talking head, uh, facing the camera, videos as well. So ideally, the strategy has some variety so people can see you behind the scenes, how you're living your life with the B-roll, so they can feel your energy with the face, talking head videos as well. And then the carousels are really good for like adding value, teaching about something. So breaking down a concept. So each of those has a different purpose. But again, it really is about what feels most comfortable for you. I'll just share an example for me. I'm not a talking head video person. I respond to you when I'm live. So in front of a camera with people, I'm a generator in human design. I respond. I can be here for hours. But just pulling out the camera and talking never worked for me. So my Instagram was mostly lifestyle and me writing, and it worked. So there really is no way that you have to follow in order for it to click. It's just find a way that works for you.
Okay. Yeah, that helps. I don't really love to do things just like everybody else does, and this is why I really resonate with what you're saying. I was just curious on the how do I use the B-roll? It's like, okay, well, maybe I know sometimes people will talk to the mic as it's like going and they're kind of showing what they're doing, but I like the concept of like just showing who I am and like the things that I do, but how do you like practically use that in a way that
Good.
works
Good
for
question.
people?
So
Yeah.
you add written copy on top of it, or the
Okay.
voice if you want. For me, I always found it easier just to write and then copy paste from those content buckets and then put it over the video, the B-roll, and then that becomes your story. And then for that would be the Instagram stories, and then for the wall, you could also add one line on top of the video. And then the rest of the copy would go in the description. So you'd have like a hook. This could be a whole nother masterclass, is having a hook on the video in itself for the wall videos that would get them to click and then read the whole description.
Mm,
Does that make
okay.
sense?
Yeah, that helps.
Okay, good.
Thank you so much.
Good question. Thanks for asking. Okay, let's bring up Stephanie. Can't hear you yet.
Now it's working. Hi, thank you. I'm kind of new to social media marketing. I'm approaching the thing from my own perspective, what I like. I like Instagram. I don't like too much the LinkedIn thing, although my target audience is are managers, mainly male managers, and I'm already working with them as a coach and personal development. So people say you find them on LinkedIn, but I really do not like posting there. So my question is, do I have to focus on LinkedIn because probably my people are there, or should I just go for LinkedIn because I like it more?
I'm all about repurposing, multi-purposing. So if you're already going to take the time to write out content for Instagram because you like it, why not take it and also add it to LinkedIn? There is a school of thought that each platform requires a different voice. Sure. If you really wanted to get nitty-gritty, technically you should change the copy from Instagram to LinkedIn. If you're using AI, you can ask AI to help you understand the voice of each platform. It's not so important that you do that, but since you asked, I do just want to share that there is technically a strategy for each platform. But with that, just taking that out of the equation for a second, like I said, if you're already writing a piece of copy, why not just put it also on Facebook and also on LinkedIn? It's just a copy paste, right? Unless you're doing a whole repurposing strategy to make sure it's applicable for that platform. If you don't want to do that whole second strategic piece, then it really is just copy paste, you know? Since you already have the account, you already have, your audience is already on there. LinkedIn doesn't require imagery, doesn't require videos, it's just text. So since Instagram requires video or imagery and text, you might as well take that text and put it on LinkedIn, also Facebook.
All right.
If that doesn't overwhelm you. Again, it's all about what works for you.
Yeah. This makes total sense. Thank you for that point of view. I like it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll take it a step further. If you're someone that wants to be available on all platforms, you want a presence on all platforms, then you can take that longer form content, which by the way shouldn't be too long. Nobody wants to read so long, especially because I'm assuming all of your clients are busy just like you. So they don't want to read a whole bunch. So keep it to a minimum. But then you can chunk it down even more and you could put it on Twitter or Threads if you want to become someone that has a presence on all platforms. That's the strategy people do.
Okay. Well,
good question. Does that make sense? Does that feel like I answered that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you wrapped it up. Thank you very much.
Good. Thank you. Good question. All of your questions are really good. I feel like they help a lot of people too. Okay, let's bring up Craig.
Good morning, Simona. Thank you. Fantastic. Listen, first of all, thanks because you've made me feel that I haven't been going insane for the last 7 months in terms of figuring out what I want to do, what I want to post. Now, my question is this. Content 360, all these advertising companies, content creator, UTech. Okay, I'm looking to figure out the best way to post. Now, I did purchase Content 360, one of those .io Facebook apps. Now, there's a lot of scammers out there. That's what I wanted to talk about. So what I want to differentiate between is who's posting these videos where you come and see, and then you go, okay, get there. Then you get to the cart, and you got to add these other things. Well, then I go, I want to check the reviews. So I go check the reviews. I come back. Then I go, okay, well, I'm going to go ahead. Then I get to the cart. Now I got something else that's a different offer from the one that I wanted. And I can't get back to get the service that I wanted from the AI script writing. Then I'm looking at AI software. Okay, now I'm learning out how do I integrate in. I've got some great marketing ideas. Yeah, I'm always getting shit in this program because I'm doing everything I'm not supposed to do because I've been asking about business for 8 months. Everybody said, you're looking at this the wrong way. You're looking at this as a workout, athletic session. No, I'm working about it because my body was so busted up. That's why I didn't complete the course yet after finishing it in 10 weeks. That's why I had to keep going back to learn all these other things. Now, as I'm starting to be able to get in front of the camera, not because of fear, not because I don't know where I want to go or market to, what's the best option to maximize my dollars, my time? Because you hit it on the head. I do not want to be tied to my phone. This is about building this business around me. And I want not only me, I want anybody who watches my content to be selfish. For the first time in your life, be selfish. Worry about you. I want to make it affordable. I've got sponsors I want to go after. Gill, Rollerblade, Spotify, all these different things. I want to use music. I want to do warm-ups. We do our sync up in the morning. I'm going, you know how much energy I see when I talk to these people? Why aren't we warming up? Why aren't we dancing it, man? Let's get the energy flowing. So
Yeah.
thank you for giving me a chance to ask a question, and B, for listening. So I love it. Thank you so much.
I love it. So what I think your question is, how do you know if a third-party agency is authentic or a scam? That's what I'm hearing.
Who do we go with? Because I spoke with Joanne, and Joanne is great. Joanne, I love you, and I sent you a voice message. Give me a dingo back, man. Don't be ghosting me. I want to hear from you. You're inspiring. But who do we use? Joanne's using a marketing assistant. Okay, so I've got some limited dollars right now because I've been off work because of my circumstances and what happened. Yeah, I've lost hundreds of thousands of dollars in income, but I know how to get it back, and I'm going to. And what I want to know is who's the best alignment? Because I want to be with the human grass. Chances are they're not going to invite me to host too many events because man, they won't be able to keep up. We'll be spinning and moving and shaking. So I'm okay with that.
Okay, so there is different levels of support. So a marketing assistant is, I would say, level one, or a VA. A VA would be level one, an offshore VA where you tell them exactly what to post, essentially, or they have some creative willpower of their own and they're able to draft the copy and you give them the B-roll. That's like the first version is a VA. Then a marketing assistant who
Yes.
they probably have a bit more context of marketing and your background, and they're able to maybe create a content plan for you that you approve. That then it would be like a social media management agency, where again, they would probably be able to do what the marketing assistant does by taking a whole content plan for you that you approve, and they're able to execute it, and they're probably able to do it faster because they have more than just one person doing it. Then it would be basically these AI companies or these agencies that I'm feeling like you're talking about, where they kind of build things for you, which that's where that can get kind of scammy, I guess, is to answer your
I,
question.
I, I don't want to be a time eater, okay, because there's so many people and I want to hear from them too. But it comes down to this. Look, I'm a genius marketer. I have ideas to interact with the content that's out there. I've got hundreds of saved reels. I've got script concepts. I do everything live, but I do like to script in terms of order of what I want to do things when I go to do them. So I guess there's a number of ways to look at it, but I want somebody where I can just basically give my content to. I wish I could afford to have somebody come with a camera, a videographer. And I'm actually going to be trying to do that in the next couple of days because I rollerblade. There's so many things I do where I want to be doing things to show people what they can do and
Great.
interact with the camera.
So you could hire someone locally to come to
That's
your
what I'm
house
doing.
once a week, once every other week, to film with you all day or a period of the day. And then what they do when they're not with you during that time is they turn that into content.
Now, what if you can't do both, though? In other words, if I get all the content and I want to give it to somebody and say, okay, this is what I want. It's like the AI. So, for example, they always go to Gary or Jason and all these things. And I know they're starting to produce AI content too. For example, when Gary's in bed and he gets up, hey, Gary, what do you do? And Gary goes to get up. Well, maybe I want to insert myself beside Gary. And Gary goes to get up and I flip over the covers and I hold him back. I go, hey, boss, I got this. Man, you guys are always bugging him. These guys are so busy. I'll handle this
Totally.
one. Right? So
Yes.
stuff like that, having some fun.
Yes. It can be different people. You can have
Hey,
someone
friends,
filming the
quick,
content.
quick time check. Let me just jump in for a second.
Let me
Yeah, I
just
Greg,
know,
finish this
60
question.
Greg,
seconds.
Let's just finish
I'm,
this.
man,
I'm
I'm fine.
coming to
I'm fine.
your one-man talk show. I'd love to see you doing stand-up comedy at the next Human Garage
Yeah,
retreat.
sure. You pay
Okay,
for
so
my
Greg,
ticket though. You know I can't yet, so you pay
Just
for my ticket.
quick
I'll
time
come.
check. So the last time we pushed it much longer, but as a community, the community kind of voted for 75 minutes. So I just want to be respectful for those of you who timed it for 75 minutes a day. I know Simona is full of abundance and she wants to give more time, but can I just, for 1 second, just bring it back? And I'd like for a handful of people to just say what they took away from today. What are some of the actions you took away from today? And maybe everybody else could just put something in the chat just to kind of wrap it up. And then if you'd like to, Simona, if you want to stay a little bit longer and answer some more questions, I'd be happy to do that as well. I think it'd be amazing to do that if you have the time. I know you also have quite a lot to do. But can I have a few people that maybe want to raise their hand and just in 30 seconds, what you took away from today? What are you actioning in the next few days? I want to see results next week. So I want you to show off to Simona and say, hey, look what I did next week. We need more celebrations. We need more people that will take a risk and step out of their comfort zone and do that. And exactly like, this question that was just asked, it doesn't have to be one person that solves it all. It doesn't have to be one person, Craig, that does the video and the post-production. You can get a student to do videos these days. You can get an intern to do that completely for free. And then they can put it in a folder. And then they can give it to someone that's online in the Philippines that does all the rest, so AI will do it. So there's very,
Hold my
very
hand.
simple ways to take
Yeah.
actions. Guys, I want 3-4 people, 30 seconds. What'd you take away out of today? What are your key actions? And everyone else, put it into the chat. Give us some actions that you've taken away. Carolyn, you want to jump in? 30 seconds. What you took away? Best nuggets, best takeaways, please.
For me, key takeaway is I'm going to keep doing the B-roll version, and I'm off to Wales for a big retreat in a part of the country I've never been. But I'm taking my blender. I've got my filming friend coming with me, and yeah, it's totally improvised. But I realized, no, I need to show that's the other side of me. Great, I really appreciate it.
Perfect. Kelly?
I just kind of typed it in there. Similar, yeah, just doing the B-roll, filming my day-to-day to my target audience, being real, being authentically myself. And I do have some questions later for you, Simona, if we have time, but that's kind of my key takeaway.
Beautiful. Thank you. And again, anything you're saying today, I'm going to have our community manager keeping you all accountable. So be careful. I'm expecting to see these results by Monday, ladies and gentlemen. It doesn't have to be perfect in the beginning. And what I'm going to ask as a community, let's support people. So as soon as you've done this on Instagram, send us the link on Discord and let's as a community go in there and write something nice. Wow, great, something. Let's react to each other. Yeah. Anyone that tags me, I'm gonna ask my team to comment to support you, just to help you go a little bit more viral. Lara, please.
You took so much fear that I had that I didn't know what I was afraid of and just took it away. I didn't realize that I had a selling issue because I've been a nurse. I didn't have to sell being a nurse. I was just a nurse. And took care of people's dogs and word spread. They're like, she runs the best kennel. She's a nurse. We didn't have to market. So the idea of marketing was just like icky to me. But making sales into service, I want to serve everybody. So now, I want to go sell myself because it changed mentally how I think. So that was huge. And I have only 3 more days to take my kid to school, and then my mornings are free. So I already wanted to do morning content. So you won't see it Monday. Got 3 more days to take my kid to school. But then my whole morning is going to change. So I'm going to be making my morning routine. So you made so many things clear to me in how I'm already doing it, and I just need to start showing it. So thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you for that.
Love that. Stephanie, you raised your hand and then you walked away. So I don't know if Stephanie is there anymore. Oh, she's run back. That's so cute. Stephanie, best takeaways.
As you guessed, I have children. I'm always busy. My takeaway is I should get started, although I'm not ready.
Okay. I like that. Yeah, it was sometimes we're never ready for these things. We just got to take actions. So,
Yeah.
officially, I'd love to just close it up and just say, thank you so much to Simona. I know if some of you still have questions, Simona, you could stay for a little bit longer. Please stay. But I promise people we'll try to do our best to keep things on time going forward, you know. So thank you so much for showing up. Thank you for taking time. You know, this is not a part of your job description in the company, but you just like, Gil, let me show up and serve these people. And the document that you created for us is absolutely amazing. Please, all of you, go through it, fill it out, share with the community. Like Paul was just saying in the chat right now, we got to support each other a lot more. So some of you already have answers. And those of you who took something really a lot from today, don't just keep it to yourself. Like, go in the chat right now in Discord and put 3 key bullet points you took away and what are you going to do about it? Because that's the only way we can keep each other accountable. Like, Simona, thank you for dropping so many like golden nuggets here today. I was writing some notes in the background, and what I'm going to ask is if you have more insights and anything else you want to follow up and share with us based on some of the questions, don't be shy. We're here to receive, so feel free to keep it coming. And those of you who are with us today live, but those of you who are going to be listening afterwards, follow up with Simona. Tell her if you want a one-on-one, you know, let her know if you maybe actually need a coaching session with her. She might be able to offer that as well. I don't know. And feel free to also send her some recommendations and feedback on LinkedIn just to thank her for what she's done. I appreciate you so much. So if you do have a little bit more time, let's maybe get a couple of more questions in. Thank you again, everyone who showed up and stayed with us. I know you have kids, you got dogs, you got all these things. So if you got to log off, maybe just put some hearts in the chat and log off. But we'll see how long so we can keep Simona on with us today.
Yeah, I've got like 20 more minutes, so happy to answer the rest of the questions.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Uh,
Kelly, jump in.
Okay, so I'm still trying to, one, develop my offering and narrow it down. I have healed from autoimmune. Human Garage was part of that journey, as well as some other things. I hike, I rappel. I want to talk with people. You know, I'm 57, almost 58, you know, like how to keep mobility, movement, so you can still do the things that you love. I have already got followers on YouTube. I'm like 2,300 hours, you know, on YouTube trying to get to the pay earn spot, you know. Haven't done a whole lot on Instagram. I might like just try to link stuff to my YouTube. So YouTube has been my main focus. So, I mean, there's kind of a multiple thing here. And it's like, so Instagram for me would be more like the lifestyle content and things like that. I think there is like reels and things like that I could put that content in on YouTube. So I'm just a little bit, Instagram just kind of overwhelms me a little bit. I'm just like, But again, you know, just trying to make sure I'm like narrowing and developing my voice. I'm creating a website right now. My name is Holistic Human. And so I'm hoping that name like embodies me, you know, because I also, you know, teach health tips, the fascia, you know, and things like that. But it's like, okay, again, well, also is what is my offering? What is my paid offering or something that I could get people into? And thinking of maybe developing like an autoimmune protocol, things like that. But
yeah, I mean, there's autoimmune protocol is definitely an option. I think that's part of your offering for sure, because for everyone, your offering is the gap that you bridge. So your offering is how you've packaged all of which that supported you and your transformation into an offering. And it doesn't have to be all of it. Big asterisk. It doesn't have to be all of it. Just some of it or a portion of it, whatever that resonates with you, that is how you transformed from where you were to where you are now. So like you said fascia maneuvers, health, autoimmune protocols. You said the word some other things. So I would break down what are those some other things and then put them into an offering. And there's a thing where you're giving too much. That can overwhelm people. So don't think, this is something that blocks so many people. They think they have to put all of their gifts into an offering. No, you do not. You need to identify the specific gap that you're bridging and what are the things, the main things, the core things that helped you bridge that gap. So yeah, maybe you're a rock climber. I forget, you said some adventure sports, but that doesn't need to go in the autoimmune protocol. That doesn't necessarily, that maybe that wasn't a specific thing that you did that helped you. Yes, I'm sure it helped you, but some things you just gotta kind of intuit don't need to go in the program because how would you possibly teach that in a program? Right?
Right.
So some things you confidently leave out, and other things you say, yeah, okay, these 5 things, these 7 things, these 3 things, whatever, these really were the core elements that provided my transformation. And this is going to be my offering.
And you have like 2 offerings, I guess,
Yeah,
your
okay.
autoimmune and then your physical, like movement. Because most of my YouTube is movement. It's, I do one-on-one sessions. I'm a Thai massage therapist. And so I send a lot of my clients to my YouTube channel to for homework, like do this move, do this and stuff like that. So far, that's like what my content has been on YouTube.
That's great. Yes, you can have multiple offerings. It helps if they relate to each other. And it helps if one is kind of like a deeper dive, a more intensive, a higher price point, you get more, and another one is like a lower offering. So there's a concept in marketing that's we have our low tier offer. That's something that's less than $100. Then we have our mid tier that's like 100 to 1,000. And then we have our high tier that's like 1,000 up. So, and if all of these kind of work together and you're able to talk about them all similarly because they're related to the same goal, and you have an option for all people based on their price point and the time that they're able to give to it. Does that make sense? Perfect. And then you
Thank
can
you.
also add the freebie, which is the thing that gets them in the door and into your email list. If you want to add that. So we
Right.
have the freebie, we have the low
And
ticket.
I have a lot, all
tier.
my videos on YouTube
Perfect.
are freebies, and so
Perfect.
taking them, and most of them are just recreations of Human Garage, but I've also created like certain routines for certain issues because people are like, well, what do I do if I have this or that, and so
Yeah.
I kind of created some of those.
Good. So then you have some things that you're giving away. You're just giving the YouTube link, and then you have a routine that I'm hoping you need to opt into. So then you get their email address. So because the goal of a free offer is to get their email address. Why? Because we don't own Instagram. We don't own LinkedIn. We don't own YouTube, right? They could just disappear one day, and then there's your audience. But if you convert your social media audience into your email list, that's yours. You own that. So that's the goal of the free offerings is to get them into your email list.
Okay. Thanks.
Awesome. Good questions. Okay, let's go with Sandra.
Hello. Some of the
Hello.
questions you already answered, and my voice is a little bit disappeared today, so I hope you understand me. I have always the point is that I like to make longer content because I more made for like discussions or like a podcast. So today I had my second invitation for a podcast, and I realized that I'm really good on it. So I'm really on a point. I can discuss with a person 1 hour to several topics, and I also a generator, but at 2-4. So for that, I can create really intimate moments with my clients, and I'm searching still a little bit. How can I bring it, let us say, on Instagram? Because Instagram, the algorithm, like more these short versions, these quick fix things, and I I still looking for a format that it's more mine. So I hear a lot of good things that you already said, also about the way that I could do. Perhaps you have an idea for me. How can I transfer it more in a form that it's how can I say that it worked for Instagram, but not serve this. How can I say that? I feel always that Instagram serve a lot of this bam, bam, bam energy, this not friendly for our nerve system. So I don't like to go into it and feed it. So it's my goal to stay more with my energy that I like. And yeah, perhaps you have a good idea for me. What
Yeah.
perhaps I
So
don't.
So longer form platforms is like you mentioned podcasts. That's if you want to share with your voice. Then if you are more of a writer, long form is Substack. So those are the two long form platforms that we have. Most people are monetizing on their Substack, so that's exciting. People charge like $8 a month, $10 a month to be a part of your Substack where you have long form articles. Now, you mentioned podcasts first, so I'm just going to elaborate on that. So um, you can take I'm guessing you don't have a podcast yet. You're appearing on other people's podcasts. Okay. So the trick here is, and I'm really glad you asked this because this is something that took me many years to figure out. So when you're appearing on someone's podcast, if it's digital, which most podcasts, uh, except for the big ones, are, so you're looking at a computer screen like I am. You also want to have your camera, your phone, filming you on the side, connected to a microphone. So here's a microphone right here. This is something you could have for the podcast that you're on, and then you can get it's called a lavalier, which is a clip-on microphone that you can connect to your cell phone. That way you have two devices. Great, perfect. That way you
Yeah,
have two
I have
devices.
it already. Yeah.
Perfect. So then what you can do, because Instagram favors the content that is more to the side versus straight to the camera. This is not really what Instagram likes in terms of these shorter forms. So they like if you're viewing yourself from the side from a cell phone, and then you get someone else, or if you really love chopping up videos, you chop up the long form podcast into small videos based on the most, um, we call it viral moments. And this is something that you can train AI to do for you. This is something you can have an agency do for you, an assistant, or you can learn to do it for yourself. It's a process that I learned while I was doing the podcast production for Human Garage. So it is possible to do with AI and yourself, and ideally a video editor.
Cool idea.
Yeah.
That's cool. Thank you very much. That's helpful.
Welcome. Good question. I'm glad you
Thank
asked
you.
that so I could share about that filming yourself on the side when you're on other people's podcasts. It's really good for your Instagram mostly, TikTok if you're on TikTok. I'm not, so I can't really speak much to that one.
I'm not. I'm
Yeah.
too old for TikTok.
I feel the same way. It's even faster. Like
Not my generation for TikTok, so I think
TikTok is really good to sell products and services. They have a marketplace. So for those of you that have a product or service that you want to sell, it could be worth getting onto, but that's a whole nother topic. Okay, let's go to Miguel.
Yes, love the aesthetic you got going on, by the way, Miss Simona.
Thank you.
Yeah, so my question to you is, so in regards to other social media people that you follow that, or actually my question is there any social media people you get inspiration from that emulate like the five main points you have in your workbook?
No, remember in the very beginning, if you caught, this isn't
Oh,
anything found from anybody else.
oh,
This
okay, okay,
this
okay.
was purely out of me wanting my marketing to be an extension of me and not take away from my life and to just be a part of my life. I wanted to be authentic. And so I'm like, okay, this took me 10 years to figure out by myself, by
Hmm.
the way. Like this isn't something
Wow.
I picked up on from anyone. I figured it out myself through 10 years of trial and error because I was trying to do other people's strategies and it just wasn't clicking. And so finally I was like,
Hmm.
okay, how can I do this naturally? Like, okay, well, I'm already living a lifestyle that is doing things that can inspire other people. So why don't I just film myself doing it? And I don't like writing in the moment. I don't want to just be like, what can I say here? Oh, done. I'm not like that. So then what can I
Hmm.
do? So it was very much like a process of elimination of like, that doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me. What
Hmm.
works for me? And so
Right, right.
so I'm sharing with you the strategies that has worked for me, but I also really want to preface that find what works for you. So take parts of mine, throw away the other parts, marketing to be consistent, which is the key piece of marketing. It is really about finding your way.
Hmm. Okay, yeah, that answered that. I appreciate that. Thank
Yeah, okay, good, good. I mean, I wish I could send you a book. Maybe I'll write it one day. But again,
you.
I don't want you to think that my way is your way. I want to share that this is a way that worked for me because of XYZ, and it might work for you, but please do it your way, or else you're not going to be consistent and then you're going to resent it and then you're going to burn out. And that's what's happening to so many people that are service providers online, is they're trying to do marketing in the way that Alex Hermosi or this person or that person or this marketer is saying to do it, and
Right,
they're trying so hard to copy their strategy, but it's just not part of their natural skill set, nor does it fit into
right.
their lifestyle in the way that it does for them. So, yeah, it's really about finding your groove.
Absolutely. Yeah, just to echo back, I feel like um, what I'm really hearing is like practice being you in a sense on social media. So I
Yeah,
appreciate that. Thank you.
yeah. And find the way that feels most natural. Is it writing? Is
Right.
it talking to the camera? Is it audio just transcribing? You know, there's so many ways. It's really what gets you, what's the easiest for you to transmit information. Like for me, I would say it's audio. So I'll transcribe to a transcriber. And then from there,
Mhm.
I take that messy content and I'll kind of clean it up and turn it into something,
Ah,
because
hmm.
that's what works for me. And going back to being a generator, I have all open channels in my throat, my head, and my crown. So I'm just wide open here. So I can just like kind of
Hmm.
channel and just transmit because I don't have any gates in this whole area. So that works for me.
Right.
Somebody else it might not work exactly for. So it's really, again, this is what most people do say, and I'm bringing it back. It is about finding your way. It really is. Just like life. Just like
Yes. 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 Absolutely. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, also, I'll share one thing that works for me, just in case it works for others, is taking walks. So, movement, when you integrate
Mhm.
movement into your stream of consciousness, writing or voice noting or whatever, however you want to get that message out, a lot of people, not just myself, so that's why I'm going to share it. When I track patterns of what works for a lot of people, I feel confident sharing that this is something that might work for other people too. So, a lot of people talk about moving while you talk it out. That helps when you're moving. It's the whole people say when you're taking a shower, you get your best ideas. It's because
Hmm.
you're not just focused on that one thing. You're multitasking. Your mind is a little bit occupied. Same thing happens with movement. So take a walk and channel your content. Try it out. Take a walk, put a
Hmm.
camera on you. Take a walk and just put a voice note on and just talk. Just try different ways that will help you find your way. And your way also might change over time, might change over different seasons. So be open to it changing and just be in a state of discovery of what is working for me now.
Okay. I appreciate that. That was of a lot of help. Thank you.
Good. I wish I could give all of you like, do this one thing, follow this, then this, then this. But that's just not how marketing works. Why? Because marketing is all about people want to feel you enjoying it. They want to feel your authentic nature. They want to feel your energy. And so if you're just following someone else's strategy out of a cookie cutter because you think you're supposed to, the whole marketing is going to be irrelevant because you're not actually being authentic to your spirit, which is what people buy. So
Hmm.
as much as I want to give you all like a do this, then this, then this, that's just not how it works. So I'm sorry. Okay, let's go with Katie.
Thank you. So this has been really helpful, especially when you've been talking about the different platforms and long form content and things like that, just to help me think about I want to work smarter, not harder, and repurposing content and how I can do that. Where I'm struggling right now is I'm making content. It's not getting out there. I'm taking pictures and videos and I'm writing, but it's not out there. That's my barrier. And I feel like I need someone to help me, but I feel like I need some guidance on how to, and I don't know if this is a question specifically for you or for Gil or for Grace, the Business Accelerator in general. I need some guidance on, as my first entry point to hire someone, what should I look for? Because I'm not the expert and I don't know what I should be looking for. I don't know any of those parameters on how to hire someone. And I've been burned a couple times on trying to hire people and not getting what I need, or them literally just taking my money and running, or feeling really slimy and I don't know what I'm getting. So Yeah, maybe just some parameters on my first steps in hiring somebody to be a VA or this or that.
Yeah, first thing I would say is get really clear on what you need help with within the getting your content out conversation. So, do you write the copy or do you need help with the writing? Do you edit the videos or do you need help with the video editing? Do you actually schedule them and post or do you want help with scheduling and posting? Um, do you do analytics? You know, there's and I know you might not even know these things to ask, so I'm just sharing with you the
Right.
main it's here. So, yeah, these are some main notes is do you write the copy? Do you edit the videos? Do you post the content? Any of those that you don't do, that's something that you want to find in someone else. Because those are the three main things that we all need within social media presence is the writing the copy, the editing the videos or the photos, and the posting of it. That's the three main things. There's a lot of other little pieces, but let's just start there. So, of those three, the things that you don't want to do, that's what you want to find somebody else that does. Then, before you actually hire that person that says they're going to do what the things that you don't want to do, you give them a piece of content that you've already created and you ask them to show you their work. So, what would you do with this piece of content? How would you edit it? What copy would you put on it? Let them prove to you that they are able to actually do what they're saying that they're going to do versus before you hire them. So give them like a project. So I'm going to give you a whole day's worth of content. I want you to turn this into a couple posts, for example.
Okay.
That makes sense?
Okay.
Make them prove that they can do what they're doing and that you like their style. And you can even give them like a little bit of guidance on what your brand voice is. If you don't want to write the copy, you can give them brand voice guidance on how you want your brand to feel. And if you're using AI, like I said, they can help you with this. You can give them some context on how to write like you, and you can ask them to write a piece of copy that is using your brand voice.
Yeah,
You
that's
can also
where,
send, you can also send content that inspires you to them. I want you to make me
okay.
copy like this. I really like this creator. I like how they edit their reels. I like how they write. You can use external muses and inspirations in this process.
Okay. Because I don't want to totally outsource my voice and my content. I just want some assistance in what I'm already doing and actually getting it out there because it does no good when it's stuck on my phone or in my
Great.
laptop.
Great. So it sounds like you want to write the copy to a degree. You want someone to take the content and post it, and you
Yeah.
approve it. So
Yeah.
that is like a social media manager, or even a marketing assistant, or even a VA. It really depends how much support you want, and
Okay.
the extent of the writing support you want. Because if you hire an outsourced VA from another country, then the writing like you will be more challenging. If you hire a social media management agency, especially in America, then they're much better at being able to write like you because they're from the same country. So, and it depends on how much you want to spend. So it depends on how much support you want and how much you want to spend. So first, I would get really clear on what exactly you want support with. The main thing I'm hearing is the actual posting of it. So that's not a huge ask. And that's
Okay.
also something that you don't really need someone to prove their work. They just need to like have the ability to have a content management software, which this is what they do as a social media manager. And then you can review it before posting, before
Okay.
they post it and approve it. That sounds like what you're wanting.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks.
That,
Thanks. That
that
helps a
provide the
lot.
clarity?
Yeah, that helps a lot because like I know I need to hire someone, but I don't know what questions to ask them or, I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah, I get that. And it's tricky. I mean, if you have any referrals of people that have worked with people, that helps. I
Mhm.
have a social media management. I have social media managers I can refer
Okay.
that I do believe that they do great work. Um, so yeah, I would say ask your network versus this is like a general statement. Ask your network before just finding someone online. Because when you just find someone online, you really got to vet them, and that's a whole part of the work. So if you can find someone through referrals, that can be helpful.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Good question. Okay, one more. Carolina.
Hi, Simona. Hi, everyone. Thanks very much for everything. You've answered lots of questions. I'm very similar like Katie. I don't know what I don't know, but I already got the answers. I will have to listen on a repeat because I'm in the car. But I want a quick question. You see, I'm a busy solo mom of 3 kids with still 3 days of work, 9 to 5, which I want to release myself towards more coaching of fashion maneuvers. I'm new to the social media as someone to post on. So I'm kind of like finding my way. The Instagram is the platform I'm actually trying to conquer at the moment. It has to be me at the moment. I'm not in a position, or I don't know anyone, and I don't know enough to get someone to help me because I need to figure out some things. But what I'm getting from all these meetings is that with the social media, consistency is the key.
Yeah.
And I don't have that because it's me doing a content on my lunch break from work, or when I'm dropping kids to the coaching training, or in the evening when I grab some moments. So I do things, but it's not consistent. And at the end of the day, I'm exhausted and I feel like I didn't achieve anything, even though I did few things. So my question would be, is there like a minimum? Would it be like one post on one reel a week on a certain day? Would that be enough to keep me going in there? Or is there any, so I need to push myself for more, because I definitely need to go for the consistency, but it's just overwhelming at the moment with everything. And I feel like I'm totally lost.
I so get it. Is there a minimum? If you can put something out 1 to 3 times a week, that would be a really healthy minimum. But yeah, you said push. I don't, no pushing. Don't push, because that will be revealed in your content. So if you're doing it just to get something out because you feel like you have to, you can feel that. The audience can feel that. And so don't do it if that's how you're feeling. Because like I said, energy is almost more important than than the actual post, your energy behind it. So instead of just trying to get something out, what if you had an allotted time, especially when your kids are at school or something, where you content batch, which is you take those core content pillars, you write little bit about each one, you add a call to action to each, so you're adding that little sales to serve element, and then you have 3 posts already done for you for that following week. Right? So then you're sitting there, you do something to get in the state to create, you do a fashion maneuver, you take a walk, you remind yourself of your power, you sit there, you write 3 posts. Maybe you even use some posts that you're inspired by that you've already seen online. There's no shame in taking some inspiration from other people. Oh, I really like this post. I like how they framed it. I'm going to take some inspiration from them. That's fine. Don't copy paste directly, exactly, but use inspiration, right? We're human beings. We're allowed to be inspired by each other. So sit down, get into one zone where you create the posts for that week, and then you have them ready to go when you start your day and you have your work week where you're much busier, right? So if you can carve out an hour for yourself, all of you, carve out an hour once a week to sit there, maybe it's Monday morning, maybe it's Sunday night, something like that, where you really prepare your content for the week ahead. And then because you don't want someone else to take over your social media before you've really started it in your energy, before you've paved the path first with your brand voice, with your energy, with your unique imprint of service. Because if somebody else takes it over before that happens, then it's not going to feel like you. And then the whole point is irrelevant, right? So starting it in your energy, you don't have to have a lot of posts. Like you really don't. You just have to get the energy moving, and then you can get someone to support you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thanks for that. Because you see, like for me, it's not even, I wouldn't push myself to create something because then it is not authentic. So as you said before, with other people, like I do have to have this energy. It's more the technical part of like posting it and adding, all different things. This is which stops me, and this is which I'm doing from in between. So I'll try to kind of focus on 2 posts maybe a week and do it as it says, like maybe, instead of Thanks.
Yep.
Thanks for the input.
There are schedulers. I'm hearing that the main block for a lot of you, I don't want to say block, let's say opportunity. The main opportunity is to get a scheduler, an online scheduler. So there's Hootsuite, there's Buffer, there's Vista Social. These are the top 3 main social media scheduler databases that people use. Some of them are free, some of them are not, and you can add your content to them and have them scheduled. So you don't have to then think, I have to post, shoot, I have to post. No, you already scheduled it.
Can you repeat those with the 3?
Yeah. Hootsuite, Hoot Suite, Suite, Vista Social, and Buffer, Buffer. And that's essentially what whoever you hire is going to be doing, is taking your content, you approve it, and they put it into a scheduler.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I told you all that she's full of content. I told you that I'm happy to continue sitting here for hours, but I don't want to do that to her or to all of you. This is just the beginning. We're scratching the surface. It's not fair to think, let me get all the answers right now in one day. So feel free to re-listen to this again and make some notes in front of you. And I just want to make sure to address that we're here for each other. So remember that if you're thinking about hiring someone, you don't have to hire them alone. A lot of these virtual assistants have 3 to 5 clients. 5 of you can come together and say, let's hire one person, and they're good at that. They know how to manage 5 clients. Why not let them manage 5 coaches? And then you even tell them, like all of our posts, comment on all of our posts. And then you each end up paying them $200 a month. They get their $1,000 a month. They're very, very happy. They got 5 clients, similar content, but maybe one is in England, one is in the US, very different target audience, but similar target criteria. Also keep in mind that, what Simona was saying in the end, scheduling, you can either do it yourself and buy the software, again, pay someone money, and you just dump your content in a folder. And if you have an iPhone or even a Samsung, you can actually not even send it to them. You can create a folder on your phone. You don't even have to move things. You could select content from your phone, put it in a shared folder, share it with that person, and then you just tell them, I want it posted on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays. So remember that there's no perfect way of doing this, ladies and gentlemen. There is doing it. Do it once a week for 3 weeks. Good job. Can you do 3 times a week? Good job. Consistency is key. If you're going to do Mondays, do Mondays. Stick with that. If you're going to do Monday at 12 o'clock, find out what's your target audience. Where are they? What time are they watching you? So there's a lot out there that you will learn from practice. Today was a lot of theory. You're not going to learn that much until you put it into practice. And you're like, let me see what I did right. Let me bring it back to the community. Say, hey, community, I've tried these 3 things. What are you all trying that's working out for you? We need to get the community sharing a lot more. And when I see the community really vibing on what's happening with our marketing, I'm going to go back to Simona and say, Simona, let's bring you back to a session, but it's not going to be just theory. It's maybe going to be case studies. Each one of you will have 3 minutes to share. What have you been doing in the past month on social media? And Simona can maybe do some group coaching with us so we can learn practically. How does that sound? You guys like that idea? Okay. So our objective is to bring Simona back. Maybe we'll bring her back in July. I'm going to, steal her a little bit more of her time. But I want you all to be ready to show off.
Love that.
Yeah, because I know how capable you are. And today, I love what I'm hearing, but I'm also hearing some fears. Don't worry about it. You can't fail, but posting too little, too much. You can only fail if you keep on thinking about it.
Yeah.
And you keep on, it's like all my posts are in my head. And someone was just asking, should I have an offer ready? Whenever you have an offer ready, tell your community, I have an offer ready. Don't wait until everything is perfect to get it right. We're not baking a cake here. When you bake a cake, it's got to be right. I get it. The recipe has to be perfect. When it comes to marketing, there is no perfect recipe. There's
And I just
trial
want
and
to say something on that because it's a really good question. Before your offer is ready, you talk about the contents of the offer. We call it teasing. So you share about the magic that's going to be in the offer. You start to prime your audience. So you can prime them for months, really. And then finally, the offer's there. And they've been waiting for it because you've been priming them about what's going to be in there.
Love that. Love that. Very, very much. On that note, I love you, Simona. Thank you so much. Everybody
Love you
send
all.
some love to Simona. Connect with Simona on LinkedIn. Give her some recommendation. Give her some love. If you've taken some notes, use these notes even to share not just within our community, but remember that sharing such content could also be useful in your social media. Your social media doesn't only need to be about fascia maneuvers. Today, I learned from a new mentor. That's really good content. People love to know that you're a human being. So Let's give Simona a lot of love. Yeah. Love you all very, very much.
Love
Thank
you
you all. We'll
all.
see you in the next session.
Thank you all. This was so
Bye.
fun. Appreciate your presence and your questions. Mwah.